Good evening. Tonight's reading is from the Picatrix, Book 2, Chapter 1, How It Is Possible to Learn This Science. The wise, who are endowed by nature with intelligence, never cease to neglect to seek and inquire, that they might learn and understand the secrets of the sages, who sealed them up in their books and wrote them in hidden words, that the aforesaid might search them out by careful investigation until they attain what they desire. But those who are stupid and lacking in intelligence will never reach it or arrive at it. Yet the motive that drives me proceeds from investigating magic and forbidden things, in which I prospered from the days of my youth. I studied Ptolemy's Centiloquium, in which it is said that all things in this world obey the celestial forms. Indeed, all the sages agree in this, that the planets have influences and powers in this world, by which all things in it are made and transformed by the movements of the planets through the signs. For this reason, sages understand that the foundation of magic is in the movement of the planets. I wish to present the following example, which I learned from a certain sage who labored in the science, who stayed in Egypt, in the royal palace. There also dwelt a certain youth who came from a region in India, and who had progressed far by much study in the aforesaid science. This sage said to me that while he and this youth were talking together, they heard the voice of someone lamenting that they had been stung by a poisonous scorpion and was about to die. When he heard this, the youth took a piece of cloth from his purse, within which were seals that smelled strongly of incense. He instructed that one of these be given to the man in a drink, and he would recover at once. The sage said that he rose up at once, desiring to learn more and find out the reason for this, received one of the seals from the youth's hands, and gave it to the victim of the scorpion sting in a drink, as he had been instructed. And at once the victim made an end to his cries of woe and was saved. The sage said that he then inspected the seal and saw that it had the figure of a scorpion on it. When he asked the youth what had sealed it, the youth showed him a gold ring set with an engraved bezoar bearing the figure of a scorpion. There is a footnote. Bezoar. Bezoars are stone-like masses found in the stomachs of goats, sheep, and other grazing animals. In the Middle Ages, they were considered a powerful cure for poisoning. The sage inquired of him what the figure was, and by what secret influences it accomplished what I have described. The youth answered that the figure was made when the moon was in the second face of Scorpio, and this was the secret of the power of the ring. This was what the sage said to me. I then made a figure of the same sort at the prescribed time, with which I sealed and suffumigated seals like the ones he described, and with them worked wonders at which everyone marveled. For this reason, you must realize and understand that no one can realize and understand the virtues and powers of the heavens in this little world unless they have studied the natural and mathematical quadrivium. There's a footnote. Quadrivium, the four Pythagorean sciences of arithmetic, geometry, music, and astronomy. And whoever is ignorant of these sciences will be imperfect in his knowledge of the movements of heaven, nor will he be able to understand them, not draw to himself what he wishes, because the compositions and foundations thereof are drawn from these subjects. Whoever is ignorant of arithmetic and geometry will be unable to calculate the motions of the celestial bodies, nor their returns and transits, nor to grasp the motions of those things by which the understanding is formed in arithmetic and geometry. Similarly, you must learn music. There's a footnote. Music in medieval theory includes the study of proportions and ratios. To understand the proportions and numbers of things, and in what manner celestial things correspond in love and hatred with terrestrial actions, and why the effects of celestial bodies are more apparent in one earthly thing than another. Indeed, anyone who does not grasp these proportions lacks any understanding of how these effects come to be, nor will such a person be able to work out the correspondences between causes and effects, or vice versa. Likewise, he who neglects the natural sciences will not be able to understand the processes of generation and corruption and their causes, because if he does not know these things, he will not be able to understand or apply the effects that the celestial bodies have, or the powers they exert over terrestrial bodies. Similarly, one who is ignorant of metaphysics will be unable to learn or understand how celestial virtues are infused in some terrestrial places and not in others. Therefore, it may be concluded that no one will be able to understand or apply this science perfectly except for one who learns its orders and foundations, which no one will be able to learn except a philosopher who has extracted everything from the parts of philosophy we have already named. For this reason, no one will be able to attain perfection in this science except a perfect philosopher.